Tracy lovers. What's up, Tracy lovers? Hey y'all, look, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about something that sounds a little harsh, but it will change your life. Y'all, I want to talk about detachment. Not just being mean to somebody or not being heartless, not pretending like you don't care, but detaching from the things that don't serve you. Look, I've come to find out that you can love something and still need to let it go. You can really care deeply for something and still need distance. Some of us, we get exhausted not because life is just so hard, but we get exhausted because we attach to things that keeps draining us. So today, we're going to break down 3 parts to this video. Why detachment is important, how to know what you need to detach from, and then how to actually detach. Am I saying it right? Detach. How to actually detach without losing yourself. All right, so let's get it. Come on and kick it with me because I wanna kick it with you. Okay, let me stop playing because this is so, y'all have no idea how serious this is for me. I've been attached to the wrong things. And if I don't detach, that will suffocate my growth. And y'all already know I'm on a forever growing journey. So this has, some things we just have to detach from if we want to grow, Some of us, we can be attached to like the old version of ourselves. We can be attached to relationships that expired, jobs that shrink us. We can be attached to people opinions that limit us, trauma, and sometimes that trauma shapes us. And if we don't detach, you following me? Some of us are attached to never being understood, or just the need to feel like the chosen one. And when you stay attached to what don't align with who you're becoming, that delay your evolution. When you detach from things and places and people, that creates space. And space is necessary for growth. You cannot receive new blessings with your hands still full of old baggage. You can't heal while you consistently reopening wounds. And I'm talking to the ones that can relate to me because, like I say, I need to hear this as well, y'all. When we detach, that protects our peace. It protects our time, our energy. It protects our mental clarity. Have you ever been attached to something and you know it's keeping you confused? It's keeping you stuck. It's keeping your mind cloudy. Sometimes staying attached can cost you your peace And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes peace can be expensive. Have you ever got into some type of trouble or you had to, or whatever, and you had to pay your way out of it? Or you got into a situation, you found yourself in a situation, but in order to get your peace back, you need to pay up. Look, I'm not even talking about, look, let me just give y'all some examples. Staying out of jail. You want your peace of mind, that's expensive. Sometimes you got to detach from things so you won't even be there or land there. Let's just say car troubles, that's me. Having to detach from trying to hold on. Hold on to my baby. I need to detach because it's getting too expensive. Detachment is not about being cold. It's about being clear. Clear about what you deserve. Clear about what aligns. Clear about what disrupts your spirit. And some of us be loyal to that chaos. We're loyal to dysfunctional relationships and inconsistency. Or we're just loyal to the people who are just not sure about us. When you detach, that breaks that cycle. When you detach from those type of things, you telling yourself, well, that's telling what you're detaching from. Like, I can love you, but I just love me way more. I can appreciate what this was, but I accept what it is as well. I can release this and trust that something better is coming. And that's showing yourself some strength. Yeah. I want to talk about how to know what you need to detach from. Because I talked about a lot about what we can be attached to. But how do you, like, some people can be confused. Like, how do I even know, like, how do you know what you need to detach from? Let me just give you some of my indicators that I jotted down, that I live with, that helps me. If it consistently drains you, I know y'all done heard that before. Like, if you didn't have an interaction with somebody and you leave them feeling heavy, you leave them feeling confused, you leave them feeling small or anxious, pay attention to that. That is your body trying to tell you something. Your body will tell you exactly what your heart is trying to justify. And you have to pay attention. And then if you feel like you're forcing it, if you gotta ask yourself, like, am I forcing this? Do you gotta force the conversation? Do you gotta force the chemistry? Do you gotta force them being consistent with you? Do you gotta force them to respect you? Because that's information as well. Healthy things just flow. Unhealthy things require consistent negotiation. Not even just with them or that, with yourself. Third thing I got down here is, are you shrinking to maintain whatever it is? Do you gotta dim your light? Do you gotta shut up? You gotta stay silent? Do you gotta lower your standards? This the one right here for me. Do you have to accept less than what you want? Because that's not alignment. That's survival mode. And survival is not the same thing as thriving. Are you, this is the last one I got down here, is you're attached to a potential, not the reality. This will be like, this the one for me, for sure. If y'all can relate, knowing you need to detach from something, you feel like you in love with who somebody else could be, or you're loyal to who they might become. You're invested in who you hope they'll turn into. But when you get ready to detach, you got to ask yourself, like, who are they right now? Because we don't date potential. We got to not be afraid to let it go. Sometimes that very thing that we're afraid to lose or scared to lose is the thing that we need to release. That fear of being alone, or fear of having to start all the way over, or fear of failing, fear of disappointing people. Fear will keep you where you are. But that growth, that requires some courage. How to detach. Now, let's talk about the hard part. Then I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle. Okay, y'all? Because I feel like we need to, I can tell you what to look for and walk away. But then it's like, how? How do I even, how? How do I actually detach? Because it can sound good, but emotionally it's really tough. The first step I got to detaching is you have to accept the truth. Detachment begins with honesty, real honesty. Got to stop romanticizing about what hurts you. Stop rewriting the story. Stop minimizing them red flags. Accept what is, not what you wish it was. Clarity hurts at first, but confusion hurts way longer. Who want to be confused forever? How to detach? Set some boundaries. Detachment without boundaries don't work. You cannot detach and still give that unlimited access. You can't detach and still answer every call, respond super instantly, and still show up the same way. That's not detachment. Boundaries protect your detachment. They say, this is what I allow, this is what I no longer tolerate, and this is how I deserve to be treated. And if you struggle with boundaries, because a lot of us do, a lot of us don't know how to set a boundary and stand on that. That's exactly why I created my e-course, Back the Hell Up. And I love that. I mean it. It's a boundary setting toolkit that walks you through how to set boundaries without feeling that guilt, how to walk away from what don't deserve you or serve you, how to speak up for yourself, how to stand firm in your standards, how to love yourself enough to protect your peace. Now, I done created this 6-module, but the first 3 are available right now. It's a 6-module e-course, but the first 3, you can go over there on TreacyLove.com and check it out. Especially if this If this message is hitting home and you like, okay, I need to actually do this, go to TreacyLove.com. Utilize some of those toolkits I done put together. Because detachment without boundaries, that's just temporary distance. Boundaries make it permanent healing. And when you get those boundaries set, limit some access. My third step is to limit some access, y'all. Distance is powerful. You cannot heal in constant exposure. So that's if you got to mute somebody, if you got to unfollow, if you got to decline, step back. And don't do it out of bitterness, but self-love. And then just redirect your energy. My fourth step I got down here is redirect your energy. When you are trying to detach, there will be a void. You're going to feel it. But fill that hole. Fill that up with some intentions. Get more intentional with self. Do some workout. Build something. Start something. Start therapy. Start journaling. Pray. Create a prayer life. Create anything. Create. What do you want? But don't just detach. Don't just remove. You got to replace that with something. Because if you don't replace unhealthy attachments, you'll run back to that. Whatever you're attached to, you just go right back to it because you're bored, out of boredom. The fifth step I have down here is that you really have to detach emotionally before you detach physically. And this is big, and I know some of my women get it. Sometimes you're physically gone, but emotionally still attached. You're replaying conversations, you're checking their page, you wondering what they doing. That emotional detachment comes from acceptance and self-focus. You got to stop seeking closure from people. You got to stop creating that. Stop seeking closure from people or them or whatever, and then just start and create it within yourself. Create that closure for self. Sometimes closure isn't having a conversation. Sometimes it's just a decision. But make it and then stand on it. Detachment is not about not caring. It's about caring about yourself more. That's it. You just got to love yourself way more than you love anything that's not serving you. It's about choosing your peace over any potential. It's about clarity over chaos, self-respect over that survival mode. And then let me say this, y'all. I'm a skedaddle because y'all know I love y'all and I don't want to keep y'all too long. But you will outgrow people. You will outgrow certain environments. You will outgrow habits. And that doesn't make you disloyal. It makes you evolving. The version of you that tolerated that was surviving. The version of you that detaches, that's you healing. And if you in a season where you need to step back, let this video be your confirmation that you are not wrong for protecting your peace. You are not wrong for raising some standards. You are not wrong for choosing yourself, okay? If this video spoke to you like it's speaking to me, I want y'all to do me a favor and like the video. Like it so more people can really want to come hear what I'm talking about. Comment down and subscribe. I would love that. Help me grow over here, y'all. And if you are really ready to actually put boundaries in place, learn how to detach in a healthy way. Make sure y'all go over there to TreacyLove.com and check out Back the Hell Up. The first 3 modules are available, and it's designed to help you build that confidence and the structure that you need to protect your peace for real. We not just talking about growth over here, y'all. We actually doing the work. All right? I love y'all. I love y'all. And I will see y'all in my next video. Deuces.